The patch notes here, and they're probably the biggest patch notes in history because every single weapon got changed. So let's jump right into them. So let's get right into it. First of all, muzzle flash and therefore visual clutter in the game has been nerfed. All weapon muzzle flashes have been updated to essentially reduce the amount of stuff on your screen. Here's a video comparison and here are Respawn's actual patch notes for the official changes, but essentially they've toned it down a lot and it's going to make the game a lot less in your face when you're trying to shoot and you can't track the enemy through your muzzle flash. This is huge. You may not consciously notice it, but it will change your gameplay a lot. Moving on, the assault class got new passives. The first new passive is Combat Reserve, which allows players to carry extra ammo per stack, have 2 grenade only slots in their inventory and retain access to red extended supply bins. Also a new stowed reload passive where stowed weapons automatically reload after 2 seconds, and a battle surge passive where breaking enemy shields grants a speed boost, fast reloads and highlights on the target enemy for 4 seconds. Into the actual balance updates, within the care package the R99 has returned to the floor and the Peacekeeper now enters the care package. I will give you the patch notes for the Peacekeeper and the R99 soon. Gold weapons this season are the Alternator, R99, Wingman 3030 and Rampage. Evo shields have been changed. The max Evo shield is now purple, meaning red armor is no longer earnable through leveling. So because of this, the Evo required to reach the max level is now 1700 Evo instead of 1350. On top of this, a note for accelerated weapons: accelerated weapon kills in mixtape will no longer contribute to the alt charge. For gameplay updates, something new has been added called arsenals, which are stations across all points of interest on every map with fixed locations. The ammo type in them is randomized and it essentially allows you to pick a weapon of your choosing under a certain ammo class and upgrade it. Healing has changed. Cells now take 2.5 seconds to complete instead of 3 seconds, and syringes now take 4 seconds instead of 5 seconds. So all of these are going to pop quicker. Cells and syringes now stack to 6 in everybody's inventory, and players now start with 4 cells and 4 syringes. They originally started with 2 of each. Also, the battery and medkit spawn rates have been slightly increased. For helmets, white, blue and purple helmets have been removed from the game, and players no longer start with a white helmet because it's been removed from the game. Essentially, you can no longer protect your head in Apex. Your head is always going to take the same amount of damage no matter what you're wearing. This means the gold helmet has been reworked into a gold armor upgrade helmet, which essentially gives you gold armor instead of actual head protection. It offers improved minor healing and also doubles the output of cells and syringes. A gold helmet will set the player's armor to 100 regardless of the level. Leveling is still required to unlock upgrades, but no longer affects armor while the gold helmet is equipped. It does give no headshot damage reduction, and it appears in gold bins after the bin reset, and also other sources of gold items. Also, Respawn added a red tier helmet, which essentially does the same thing as a gold helmet. It upgrades you to red armor. It sets the player's armor to 125, which is red, but leveling is still required to unlock legend upgrades. Of course, the red helmet does offer no headshot protection, and it appears in mythic bins and late game care packages. Moving on, the knocked down state in the game has been changed and players are going to get an increased crawl speed while knocked without the shield raised. Also, POI names are now visible on the map with extra information added to them. For ammo and attachments, hammer points have been removed from the loot pool. Gold magazines, time to reload while stowed has been decreased to 2 seconds from 5 to match with the assault buffs. The 1x hollow optic has been removed from the loot pool. It's removed from the game, and in the replicator the amount of ammo you can craft has been reduced to 1 stack per weapon instead of 2. Moving on to the weapon balance changes, which changes every single weapon in the game, so you're gonna want to watch this. Starting off with the Havoc, the damage has been increased to 21, it was 18, the headshot damage is now 27, the beam shot damage has been increased to 70 from 53, and the beam shot headshot damage is now 105. The Havoc is staying in the care package. The Hemlock damage has been increased to 20 from 19, and headshot damage is 26. The Nemesis's damage has been increased to 17 from 16, and the headshot damage is 22. For the R301, the damage has been increased to 14 from 13, and the headshot damage is 18. For the Flatline, the damage has been increased to 19 from 18, and the headshot damage is 25. On to LMGs. For the Devo, the damage has been increased to 16 from 15, and the headshot damage is 20. For the L-Star, the damage has been increased by 2 from 18 to 20, and the headshot damage is 25. For the Spitfire, the damage has also been increased to 21 from 19, and the headshot damage is 26. The Rampage's damage has been increased to 30 30 from 26, and it now has 38 headshot damage. Also, Respawn have reduced the decay rate of the revved state over time. The Rampage is going to be worth checking out. A 4 damage buff is big. Moving on to the Marksman class, the 3030 has had its no charge damage increased from 39 to 43, and its no charge headshot damage set at 69. If you charge the 3030 fully, the damage is increased from 53 to 58, and the headshot damage is 93. Also, Respawn have increased the projectile size at long range with the 3030. Definitely worth checking out this. The bow check, which is in the care package, has had its damage increased from 70 to 75, and its headshot damage put to 120. Its fire rate has been reduced, and Deadeye's tempo from it has been removed. Shatter cap damage per pellet has increased to 13 from 12. For the G7, the damage has increased from 33 to 35, and the headshot damage is 56. The fire rate has been reduced, but it has had slightly increased projectile size at longer range. The triple take has seen a damage increase from 21 to 23, which is damage per bullet. Bear in mind, the triple take shoots 3 bullets, and the headshot damage is 105 for all bullets. Also, it has slightly increased projectile size at long range. Moving on to pistols, the P2020 has seen a pretty big increase in damage from 21 to 24, and its headshot damage is 30. For the RE45, its damage has been increased from 13 to 14, and the headshot damage is 18. For the Wingman, it's had a damage increase from 45 to 48, and the headshot damage is now 72. Also, the base magazine size has been reduced from 6 to 5, but it can now take magazines. The white magazine puts its ammo count to 6, blue 7, and purple and gold 8. Moving on to SMGs, these have seen a nice sweet damage increase. It's definitely going to be worth picking up some of these SMGs, like the Alternator, which has seen an increase from 16 damage to 18, and it has 22 headshot damage. The car has seen an increase from 13 damage to 14 damage. It's also got 17 headshot damage, and it's got a laser sight attachment now doable on the gun, which is great. The Prowler has seen a damage increase from 15 to 16, and its headshot damage is now 19. The R99, which has been put on floor loot since last season, so this is essentially going to see a nerf, but also a buff. Its damage has been decreased from 14 to 13, its headshot damage is now 16, it no longer has damage fall off, ADS strafe speed normalized to other SMGs, it also no longer eliminates movement penalty while equipped, and the recoil of it is increased. Even though it essentially had a nerf because it did come out the care package, it's still going to be worth giving it a try, especially with the no damage fall off, at the cost of increased recoil though. For the Volt, it's seen a damage increase from 15 to 16, and its headshot damage is now 19. Moving on to shotguns, for most of the shotguns in the game, they've seen a weird change. They no longer do increased headshot damage. So now for shotguns, or at least most of them, the headshot damage is the same as the body damage. This was done to make them more consistent and more balanceable. For the EVA 8, the damage per pellet has gone from 7 to 8, which is pretty big. For the Mastiff, the damage per pellet has gone from 14 to 16. For the Mozambique, the damage per pellet has gone from 15 to 16, and the headshot damage is 60, so the Mozam does have headshot damage. For the Peacekeeper, the damage per pellet has increased from 9 to 12. The headshot damage is now 135 for all pellets. The choke speed has been increased. Fully choked blast pattern is now tight, and also the pellets pierce, dealing 50% damage after the first enemy hit, which is interesting because I think this is the only gun in the game next to the Kraber now to have piercing damage. It has seen such a significant buff though because it is moving to the care package, so this isn't going to be the Peacekeeper's final form. When it comes out the care package, we'll have to see what that will be. I just had to get a glass of water because my mouth is so dry, but we're gonna keep going. Moving on to the charge rifle, its base damage is unchanged. Its headshot damage at mid distance is 135, and at maximum distance is 198. Its auto fire headshot damage is 101. Its auto fire headshot damage at max distance is 149, and its limb damage has been reduced to 70% from 90%. The Kraber has seen a nice juicy buff and is going to come back in a big way this season because you are going to be able to one-shot headshot people once again. Its damage has increased from 140 to 150, and its headshot damage is 210, ensuring a clean kill every time. The Longbow has had its base damage unchanged, its headshot damage is now 108, and its limb damage has been reduced to 70% from 80%. For the Sentinel, once again, base damage unchanged, headshot damage 126, limb damage reduced to 70% from 90%, and Deadeye's tempo is removed. The reason the snipers did not see a base damage increase is because of the fact that helmets have been removed from the game. So now snipers are going to be an effective tool for headshots and very clean entries into a fight by knocking someone with snipers. Don't sleep on the snipers because they haven't received any base damage buffs. The helmet removal overall is just a total buff to snipers. Moving on to legend changes, the support class has seen some changes. The heal expert perk has been removed from support, which allowed double health from healing with small meds and also increased movement speed while healing with small meds. So that has been removed from the game. For Ashe, she's got a new passive called Predator's Pursuit, which has removed her passive to scan death boxes to reveal killers. That is still gone from the game, but they'll still show on the minimap with info on how they recently died. So the death box passive is kind of staying in a roundabout type of way, but it's mainly been replaced by the new passive, which allows Ashe to dash by pressing the jump key while mid-air to perform it. Her arc snare has seen some changes. The tether now plants at the location of a projectile on impact rather than the hit player's location, and also the tether is slightly harder to break and no longer gets instantly broken by some abilities. Ashe's ultimate has seen some changes. Its range has been increased to 100 meters from 76. The travel time is reduced. It also has improved reliability of placement, which I can totally vouch for as someone who playtested season 24. Also, Respawn removed the 1 frame delay on placement preview, and it also now has VFX to show max range when in placement mode. For her upgrades, the Murder Machine upgrade has been removed and the 1 minute to live upgrade has been removed, and it's been replaced with Greedy Snare, which has been moved from level 3 to level 2, and also a new perk, Dual Breach, which allows an additional ult charge. The perk that is going to take the empty spot in level 3 of the upgrades is Ghost in the Machine, which adds an additional dash charge. For Ballistic, his sling has seen some changes. Now sling items upgrade with his level by default, and he can carry crate weapons in the sling, which can be given infinite ammo when his ult activates. For his Whistler, it now has 2 charges. Overheat reaction time has been increased to 1.2 seconds instead of 1, and the smart bullet on ground damage has been increased from 10 to 20, so it's now equal to the direct hit damage. For his ultimate, the squad now gains the speed boost as well, and for his upgrades, Slingshot has been removed from level 2 and integrated into his base kit, and has been replaced by Killing Time, which increases the duration of his ult by a whole 15 seconds. For his level 3 upgrades, his extra bullet perk now doubles the number of tac charges, which makes it 4 instead of just adding 1, and the Quiet Time perk now silences enemies for 6 whole seconds. Moving on to Crypto, his EMP can once again destroy Gibraltar's dome. For Loba, her ult is back to starting at 50% charge at the start of a game, and onto Maggie, her Wrecking Ball can now destroy Gibraltar's dome again. It will also destroy Newcastle Shield, although Respawn say this buff is only in place for now, suggesting they may change Maggie in a bigger way soon. The active maps in Season 24 in pubs are Kings Canyon, Olympus, and Broken Moon. Not a bad lineup really, and in ranked, it's Kings Canyon, Olympus, and Storm Point. For modes, we're getting several new takeovers this season. To kick the season off, it's going to start with the Mythic Mayhem Royale takeover, which is essentially the Rampart care package thing, where Rampart drops care packages with Mythic R301s in them, which all have certain attributes. You can pause and read them if you want to. And during this takeover, a second takeover will start at the same time, which is Redemption Trios and Duos, which is in collaboration with a creator called Ninjala. This mode essentially makes Respawn tokens a new mythic rarity survival slot item only available in this takeover, and if you're eliminated with this item in your inventory, you'll immediately respawn back into the action. At the start of the game, all players are given 1 respawn token, but you can collect additional respawn tokens from eliminating other players or getting them from care packages or mythic supply bins. And also, there are no respawn limits or penalties for respawning multiple times. At the start of the final ring, any tokens you do have will be exchanged for Evo Armor XP, and if these respawn tokens are dropped on the ground, they're only there for a short amount of time, so be aware of that. Also, respawn beacons can still be used to bring back players without respawn tokens. Respawn tokens essentially allow you to respawn completely by yourself. Honestly, I really like this take on Redemption Trios and Duos, and pretty much can't wait to see how this one functions, and it's a lot less confusing than other takeovers have been. The takeover that will start after these two finish on March the 4th is the Relic Weapon Trios and Duos takeover. Don't be scared of the R word, the Relic packs aren't coming back in this mode. Instead, essentially, it's going to be a really interesting version of Apex that's active for a week, where weapons spawn fully kitted on the ground, and the only tiers of weapons that spawn are Gold and Mythic tier. Sights can be looted and swapped out, but all other attachments come with the weapon. Also, Respawn will be increasing the supply drops per round, which carry 2 Mythic tier weapons, so the supply drops will guarantee you 2 Mythic weapons. Although do be aware, due to the amount of care packages in this mode, you will get reduced evo for scanning them. This one sounds pretty interesting to be fair, and luckily those stupid packs aren't coming back. After this takeover ends, there will be a brief period where standard trios and duos is available from March 11th to 24th, but at the same time, there's going to be an LTM starting up from the 11th to the 24th as well, which is 3 strikes, mystery, legends. Which is 3 strikes but with a modifier, Mystery Legends. All legends will be selected for you before entering the dropship, and if you respawn, you get a new random legend. Squads can also have duplicate legends, which is going to be very, very interesting. And with each evo level up, you'll gain the upgrades for that legend automatically, and your level will be maintained through respawns. I can't wait for this LTM, I'm definitely going to hop on this. And the takeovers for this season of Apex, at least the ones that have been announced, aren't too intrusive and do sound fairly fun. Honestly, I can't wait to give them a chance. Just Respawn don't do Rift Relics ever again. For Ranked, we're going to be getting Road to Ranked, which essentially removes the level 20 minimum requirement to access Ranked, and now adds challenges that you have to complete to access Ranked as well. Don't worry if you already have access to Ranked and you don't want to have to do a load of challenges to regain access. Every player who's already got access will retain it. For the actual game systems, there have been a few changes, like in Bot Royale, there are now tutorials that will pop up that will assist you with legends, weapons, loot, and gameplay scenarios, making it a bit easier to get into the game. For Weapon Mastery, the trials have been simplified, all trials have been redesigned, and it removes weapon restrictions to activate trials as well. So basically, it just makes it easier and less annoying and less boostable. For bug fixes, an issue where the Mythic bin could be merged with the Gold bin has been fixed, and also some spawning issues in the firing range, including Thermite VFX, have been fixed. I've experienced this issue, so nice that they're fixing this. Respawn also fixed a rare issue that would present Ring VFX and other particles from spawning, and here are a few more ones I don't think are too notable to talk about, but pause if you want to see them. For Legends, a few Legends have seen some changes and fixes. For Altar, Ash and Wraith, Void Vision, which is enemy highlighting, no longer applies on enemy portals, so it will only activate on friendlies. For Altar, her upgrade tactical cooldown plus and Void Vision perk have been fixed and put in the correct placements. For Lifeline, she's seen a few changes. Mirage has, Newcastle has, Revenant has, Watson has, Valkyrie has, and Vantage has. You can check these, they are just essentially bug fixes. Moving on to the quality of life, which are usually where the juicy nice little bits are at. Respawn have made some improvements to make it harder to make hipfire cheats. Also, Respawn added account level details, which show you your account level, what account levels are coming up, and what rewards you will have from these account levels. Also, the match summary has been adjusted to add more information. Accelerated weapons quickly charging ults in mixtape have been fixed. Reactive skins now show their effects in lobby menus. Very, very cool. Some rat spots have been eliminated across all maps, so any sneaky spots you may be hiding, they might be gone. Go check them. And for the AI bots Respawn have added, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow, I think, Respawn have made some changes to them. If you're not going to watch the video tomorrow, I'm not going to blue ball you. Essentially, Respawn have added Fortnite-style bots, which are going to inflate the lobbies and inflate people's egos. Audio has seen many changes, so if you're frustrated with any specific audio issues or are an audiophile, here are the patch notes for you. And the final patch note for graphics, improved CPU rendering performance has been put on all consoles, so consoles should run pretty smooth. And that is the Season 24 patch notes, with me speaking very fast, and we're at 19 minutes. These are some huge patch notes. If you haven't checked out Apex for a long time, it's going to be worth checking out. The fact that Apex is going to be much faster paced thanks to the TTK changes is going to be worth checking out. If not, the Ash Dash is going to be worth checking out on its own. But subscribe to keep updated, because there's more to come.